My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Na yehu say chairman Abronye abebe piem ha. All of a sudden, police for abo ehia ha say ya omasan ya pick no. E de na iko. Enchiremu ye den. Go back. Go back. Go back.
About 3 weeks or 1 month ago, about issue be or the program about Ohia TV so allegedly say or kakan sembi until a dental security court. I think according to police they are complaining, the judge complain and say Abronye make on statement against him. So that time now no Baba Amandu for Sinyane was your communication director. So that time we invited Abronye no to Abronye koe no na no home fa no because no he was in medication. So Abronye entime meet the police did their omodene beba court no. So he's traveled small. So by 3 days ago. So on one voluntary no report to come Ghana police. So no more can't say ne. They haven't summoned him to the court until they won't appear to the court. Until then, then two and more the judge actually on one description. So he give Abronye 2 weeks to remand for police cells. So and on I see anokoya mohunu between communication between one Baba Amandu allegedly say almost wakabibi atia the
brother, my sister,
the judge.
Let's go to the substantive issue. Abronye DC talks with no common sense. Most of the time, he's just talking. And when you ask him to repeat what he says, I wonder if you'll be able to trace back. My brother, Abronye DC has defied his own party. He has become lawless. He has told his party time and again that he's untouchable. This is Abronye DC. He's the main hatchet man for Dr. Bawumia. Canada, Japan has said it before that if Bawumia did not control his backing dog, he would also unleash his own wild backing dogs on him during the primaries. Do we remember? This is Abronye DC. Anytime the NPP wants to do a dirty job, this is the latrine man. They bring him to clean the latrine and pour more dirt. And it's sad. We live in a country where communicators do not need common sense anymore. What they need is foolhardiness and insults. So instead of clutching an encyclopedia of wisdom, they tuck under their arms an encyclopedia of insults. So you hear them arguing on radio, on TV, and it's the hottest ancient insults that they unleash on people. And I've said that time and again. That's Abronye, and he's full of lies. I used to really admire him. You know, I like it when empty-headed people try to pick up a few things along the way. I see them as learners, so we encourage them. But when people praise them and make them feel like they have reached, unfortunately, because they are already empty upstairs, they mess up them all. That's the case with Abronye. Sadly, Abronye sat on his show one time and said that Raymond Archer and Iyoko had paid me some big money. And whenever I do a story, I send to Raymond Archer. And Raymond Archer sends a message back to me saying, yeah, thumbs up, you do well. And I was like, where did Abronye get this from? I used to think that this guy at least spoke some truth. The moment I heard this from him and some other falsehoods, time after time, I told myself, nah, this guy is a crook. From that time, anything he says, I just laugh over that. I trust this guy at your own peril. They don't speak the truth. He and Baumia are from the same school of thought. Lie to them. Fake it till you make it.
FlexJobs is the #1 job site to find remote work from home.
Well, Abronye sat on his show, We Hear TV, and he started to attack a judge, one Francis Boateng. He attacked him. Hi, what did Abronye say on his show? Run the doors. He's called Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronye DC. My brother, my sister. He labeled the presiding officer a political judge and alleged that the court is used by the government to oversee their benefit. He claimed the judge had been promised a promotion by the ruling party in exchange for favorable rulings in specific cases. This is serious. Oh, that judge was promised by Mahama that he should continue doing cases in support of the NDC so that they will promote him. But if you are empty upstairs, you don't really see this to be serious. You think it's one of your pranks. April Fool Day joke. That is a lawyer's or a judge's integrity, that he is playing to the gallery because of a promotion. What kind of a judge? Flip. This was what Abronye DC said. He reportedly insulted the judge's professional ability, stating that you have grammatical problems. Listen. Judges and lawyers who claim they are learned people, listen, they call each other learned colleagues. I cannot call my lawyer friend my learned colleague. I can only say my colleague who is learned, because we all are not learned except them. To attack his professionalism and his scholarliness is a very big bomb that has been planted in his stomach. He said he had grammatical problems and that he had been assigned to oversee cases at Adenta that he himself, because of his grammatical problems, he couldn't understand. Hey! He asserted that the court is not a court that delivers justice to its people. Listen. That court is not a court that delivers justice to the people. What an allegation. And questioned a supposed negotiation between the court and the Ghana Police Service. Listen, that the court and the police service had negotiated something. Kululu. And then he warned the judge that Article 146 will be in motion, referring to the constitutional process for removing a judge, because you cannot be a political judge. Give him that article. Tell Abronye, read it and explain. Wallahi, he can't. Yet I hear he has some degree somewhere. I mean, how did he get it? Read it and explain. Wallahi, Abronye will never be able to do it. Yet this is a communicator for his party. What a useless party. NPP never again. This is your communicator. NPP, this is your communicator. Baumia, this is your communicator. Bono, Jesus have mercy. But specifically, what did Abronye really say? What was the issue he was commenting on? Listen, he made these allegations in response to a case involving one Abubakar Yakubu, also known as Baba Amando, the NPP communications officer for Sunyani East. Listen, what is the underlying case? Yes, the underlying case. Baba Amando had been arraigned before the Adenta Circuit Court, presided over by Francis Boatin Osei, on charges of publishing false news. Abronye claimed the court's handling of Baba Amando's case was politically motivated. He alleged that the judge was biased and had negotiated with the police to keep the NPP communicator in custody. You ask him for facts, and he's there wiping his bald head of sweat. Abronye voiced these accusations during a live show on his Onia TV, where he reportedly labeled the court an intimidation court and accused the judge of being a political judge who was promised a promotion of favorable rulings. Dash. So he was arrested. And he was in there. They were questioning him. And when he's on the show, when they arrest him small, it's like a chicken that has been injected with coccidiosis. Every coward can make noise. But when it's time for accountability, they fizzle into frittles. I really sympathize with him. For a reason, I really love this guy. If I happen to meet him, I have a lot to tell him. If you listen to me as somebody a little older than him. They arrested him. What did the Amando guy do? He put out photographs. You know, photographs that were actually, you understand, manipulated, photoshopped, whatever shop of Mahama, of Osukwache, you know, turn them into women and slapping the gay whatever on them. To be honest with you, if I were the one, I wouldn't mind. Knowing the crop of people, this crass upholders. But Abubakar Yakubu, a.k.a. Baba Amando, was picked up by the police, and he thought that he had done something heroic by changing the president into a female. Your president was in power for 8 years. The reason you were painting Mahama, a woman, you never dared even give your president a lipstick. What hypocrisy. And he thought he had done some heroic thing, maybe the next Kwame Nkrumah, showing his hands. Yes. So, Abronye went to spit all the lies. And he was picked up by the police, CID. Then he went to court, Adenta. Listen, when he arrived in court, you know who his lawyer was? Afenyomakin. I honestly don't know the last time he went to court. I don't know. Because he's busy as a politician. Recently, I heard that a lot of these Sakawa boys, you know, the Sakawa Association of Swedru and some other places, is their favorite lawyer. I don't know how true it is. But that's what I hear. This is Afenyomakin. So, if it is true that this man is defending Sakawa boys all over the place, I wouldn't go for this one. Or else people would think that I'm also in that class of Sakawa. But he went to defend Abronye. And Abronye stood there and leased his life to this guy, who himself needs a lawyer, a proper lawyer. Well, they tried to get bail for him. They had issues with the judge. Wherever it was, Afenyomakin got so angry. He granted interviews on UTV, granted interviews on City, and he used unprintable words on the judge. He called him a Nungwasiye. Why are Nungwasiye? It's a disgrace. It's a shame. What did Afenyomakin truly say? Run the nose here. Alexander Afenyomakin, who acted as Abronye's lead counsel, launched a sharp critique of the presiding judge. He described the judge as a shame to the entire judicial profession. This is worse than what Abronye had said. It's a shame. And claimed the judge had brought a big shame onto himself and the judiciary. Afenyomakin argued that the judge made prejudicial statements that set a dangerous precedent for the Ghanaian legal system. Flip. He specifically attacked the judge's use of subjective moral reasoning and references to figures like George Orwell and Robert Mugabe, stating these cannot override constitutional guarantees. He urged the Attorney General to request the record of proceedings and formally reprimand the judge for his conduct during the matter. He asserted that citizens would lose interest in the judiciary if judges continue to misconduct themselves in such a manner. It's only a bad lawyer who goes to court and loses and he takes it up on the judge. Like that other guy, what's his name? Atachia. He also went to court. He wanted a certain judge to be removed. And when the judge was not removed, he irresponsibly packed his books and walked with that rat hair on his head. Walked out of the courtroom, leaving his client there. What an irresponsible lawyer. These are the people who have made me shelve my long-standing idea of being a lawyer. All this while. They are not a good example to the law. To study law in Ghana, because of these elements, these guys, Atachia, this guy here called Alexander Afenyomakin, and some other twerps, I'll go and study dondology so I can dance. It's better. I dance and sweat and keep healthy. This profession is sickening. My brother, number 3. Final story. Watch this. Put me in jail. I want to go to jail. Afenyomakin defies judge. Afenyomakin is simply called leader because he's the leader of the micro minority in parliament that has no teeth to bite. Just noise. This is Afenyomakin. He's one of the worst politicians I have seen in the history of this country. This guy. I don't know. There is a certain perception that when you are the leader of the minority, you have to behave senselessly. Have you observed that? Almost every leader of the minority in parliament, every time, is behaving waywardly. Every. Or else people will say you are not hard. You are not hot enough. I hear his side wants to get rid of him.
Judge wants Chairman Wontumi for the last amidst threat to petition CJ. Judge wants Chairman Wontumi for the last amidst threat to petition CJ. Now, John Dramani Mahama has been able to convince the nation that there is a need for speedy trials, especially for people who have served in the past government and picked up by oral Operation Recover All Loot and cited for some level of misbehavior. These trials must be sped up because there are a lot captured in the web of oral. Many Ghanaians have started complaining that oral does not exist anymore. Many are calling for the head of some authorities who they believe should be pushing this quickly. My brother, my sister, but our courts are quite slow. People need to be given time to file their defense in the spirit of fairness. So Chairman Wontumi went to court and the judge looked at him. And we all remember Justice Francis Apangabono Achebunga. He's a judge that many Supreme Court judges and beyond, including the retired ones, have lauded and praised for his straightforwardness and his love for justice. He is one man who has been handpicked to be able to handle some of these trials. And he is so resilient. He doesn't rest. Almost every other day he's in court so that this thing can move fast. Chairman Wontumi went to court and the sitting judge felt that he was pussyfooting, stonewalling, and he decided to warn him, not in this court. You must hurry up. And his lawyer is not happy about it. Give us time at our own pace. Let us be able to build our defense. It looks like we are rushing us. What's wrong? And then another guy who never keeps his word, the bleach-faced lawyer, Maurice Ampao, who told us that if Mahama won the elections, he will relocate to Togo. There was no way Mahama was going to win the election. He was a puppet of Baumia and Nana Addo. And when Mahama finally won, he swallowed back the vomit like the proverbial dog in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. This is Maurice Ampao. Maurice Ampao has advised Chairman Wontumi, and I honestly do not know how many people in their right senses will take legal advice from this guy after telling us that and proving to us that he's a man who can't keep his word. If you listen to him, wow, JJ. But what is Maurice Ampao saying? Is captured in the news. It's flying all over the place. And here, Ghana Word has made it clear. Petition CJ now. Maurice Ampao reacts to judge's warning to Wontumi lawyers. Run the story. It's interesting. Hey. In court, there's a warning. They have been told Private legal practitioner Maurice Ampao has called on the legal team of the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Enchibo, to petition the Chief Justice over comments made by a trial judge in court. Now, his comments follow certain concerns raised by the judge over delays in ongoing trial. Yes, in the ongoing trial involving Chairman Wontumi and his associates. Now, speaking in an exclusive interview with Ghana Web's Mandy Ajimai on Friday, May 8th, that's today, Ampao said the judge's comments create the impression that she is under pressure to speed up the case due to public discussion surrounding the matter. Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers must petition the Chief Justice for this statement. There should be a petition to the Chief Justice that they are not comfortable with the statement that the judge made in open court, because it means that the judge is under pressure to hurry the case. And then the fear is that the judge is also listening to public commentary, which is not a duty, he said. Maurice Ampao further argued that the judges are expected to focus only on the evidence before them and not on public opinions on cases before the courts. They swore an oath not to listen to the public commentaries. That is why we have the court. Those public commentaries are rather politicizing the matter, he argued. He also questioned why the judge blamed Wuntumi's lawyers for the delay in the case. That's it. Now, my brother, people like Maurice Ampao, I honestly wonder how they got their law certificates. I'm not being harsh. Somebody, a judge, has sworn an oath that he will not listen to public commentary, that he will not be influenced by the public. He would only look at the evidence. Does it mean that when lawyers go to court, they can drag the case for as long as they want? Is that the argument? Does it make sense? If a lawyer goes to court and starts to pussyfoot, slow down the whole procedure by wasting the court's time, sometimes they could even be cited for contempt, disrespectful behavior. My brother, my sister, it's like in football. We have 90 minutes, right? But sometimes we have time added on when there has to be results. A winner and a loser. Now, in the game of football, and listen attentively. When a player realizes that he is in the lead and he decides to waste the time of the whole game, what does the arbiter or the referee do? A player can decide to pick up the ball as if he's going to throw it, and then he will drop the ball on the floor, and another person is running 6 million miles away to come and pick the ball just to waste time. Sometimes we know how they do it. They just fall as if somebody has kicked them. The smallest touch, they are on the floor. They will wriggle and act and steal some 5 minutes of the time. When the referee, in his own discretion, realizes that this is what they are doing, what does he do? He flashes a yellow card. Sometimes it could even be a red card. Sometimes the player could even be banned for several matches, depending on the gravity of the time-wasting offense. So for you to think that the fact that the judge is there for justice means that you can drag any case unnecessarily till your dirty party comes into power 40 years later, so these people can be set free. No, sir. It's not going to work. There's a new sheriff in town who has Ghana at heart. My brother, my sister, this said, well, in fact, had about 4 more cases he was investigating and interrogating people left, right, and center. He would have no time to wait for no attorney. Waited an hour more. No way. Another hour more. Ah, where are you? We are on the way coming. Traffic. Oh, you know traffic. Well, we have closed. And they left. The following day, you know what came out in the news? Godfred Dame spoke. And what did he say? He said, Hanan had been denied access to his lawyers, his attorney. And it was all over the place. Do we have the tape? Watch this.
What is unfolding is a manifestation of the ineptitude of the prosecution, withdrawing all the charges, and then right after we are arresting them to commence investigations again. Nobody knows. It's a gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion. I've never seen its kind in the jurisdiction before. If you want to take prosecution, you have to conduct proper, painstaking investigations before finding innocent citizens of the land for the court. And that's clearly not what we have seen. We go to a press conference, bastardize the accused persons, take their reputations to stress, saying that they are guilty of offenses and all that, and that in no time you secure conviction and you call it rumble in the jungle. And now, after a year, you cannot even start because there's no evidence. What is unfolding is the manifestation of the ineptitude of the prosecution, withdrawing all the charges, and then right after we are arresting them to commence investigations again. Nobody knows. It's a gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion. I've never seen its kind in the jurisdiction before. If you want to take prosecution, you have to conduct proper, painstaking investigations before finding innocent citizens of the land for the court. And that's clearly not what we have seen. We go to a press conference, bastardize the accused persons, take their...
Former Attorney General, and his name is Godfred Dame, he was talking about how the Attorney General said, oh, we have gone through painstaking investigations, and in no time, this will be dealt with, and after a year, it's still on. You see, they are playing to the gallery. They are trying to find a way to make it look like the prosecution has no case. This was the same person who said that Hanan and his wife were denied access to their attorney, when he knew point blank that they didn't go there at the right time. Iyoko was waiting and waiting because you are Godfred Dame. We should give you 15 hours to arrive. Nobody will do that. There's a new sheriff in town. Nobody is bigger than Ghana. These are the laws of Ghana. You have to appear at the right time. This was the guy who went to an international court and told them that we couldn't pay some money because of COVID. Do you remember? And we ended up doling out the country's money and paying those people. These are not good people. They don't love Ghana. They are not good people. They don't love Ghana. When he was Attorney General, remember, he was using COVID as an excuse not to be able to service a certain debt. I don't remember that debt, but you know. They ended up slapping us with a lot of debt. The international court said, why? Do you live in space? We all live here on earth. We all suffered from COVID. You want to use COVID as an excuse. He was late, I think, in even going for the trial. Some things. Was this not the same person accused of trying to speed up a certain thing to lock up somebody just because elections were coming and they wanted to score points? Is it the Jackpot case? Something like that. And today they are the angels. And you know, I had to open my ears. What is he saying? Is this Arabic? Or is it gibberish? Or is it Hebrew? I said, play it back because I couldn't get what he was saying. Play back that tape. Let's see if we understand what he said. I don't know. When they wear that gown, their accent changes. I honestly don't know. Play that tape back.
To stress, saying that they are guilty of offenses and all that, and that in no time you secure conviction and you call Rambo in the jungle. And now, after a year, you cannot even start because there's no evidence. What is unfolding is the manifestation of the ineptitude of the prosecution, withdrawing all the charges, and then right thereafter rearresting them to commence investigations again. Nobody knows. It's a gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion. I've never seen its kind in the education before. If you want to take prosecution, you have to conduct proper painstaking investigations before finding innocent citizens of the land for the court. And that's
maybe that's the way he speaks. I am not used to this accent. I don't know if it is Irish, Egyptian, Turkish. I'm not used to it. I had to, you realize that I asked playback because I wanted to hear it again. Maybe you understood him. But what I picked up, oh, they said they had done the investigations properly and over a year now, we've not been able to get any conviction. And you are a lawyer. Sometimes trials take long, no matter how well you have prepared. But Godfrey Dame supposedly, allegedly, lied that his client had been denied access to his attorneys. The Honorable Justice Semsai told us more. Watch this.
To just be interrogated immediately, then he will be discharged. But he fell sick and was taken to the hospital. And when he came back, instead of his lawyers, the former Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, to come so that interrogation will be done, he chose to rather be granting interview in his office and in the media and calling into radio programs to say things that he knows are wrong and are not true. I mean, he said their time, they used to assign cases to, what is this? They used to assign cases to experienced judges. My duty as an Attorney General is not to assign cases. It is the Chief Justice that assigns cases. So if he, at his time, was playing the role of the Chief Justice and assigning cases to people he considered to be experienced judges, that is problematic. Besides that, all the cases we have assigned, or all the cases that have been assigned, or the judges hearing all these cases, are judges who were in the High Court long before. That should be experienced. You don't come to the High Court unless you are experienced. And they are as far as I know, those judges are judges. One is even coming from Court of Appeal to hear the matter. So it makes us wonder what he means by experience. Is this something that we don't know about? So for a former Attorney General who is now into private practice, I know he has to earn his fees, but there must be some basic principles on which lawyers, even private lawyers, earn their fees. Let alone a lawyer who was occupying the high office of the Attorney General. I don't think...
Right. He says that the issue of fresh charges that you talk about, fresh evidence, I beg your pardon, is non-existent. He says there's no case pending, there's no fresh evidence. What's your response?
How would he know? You see, instead of him to accompany his clients to do interrogation, through the interrogation, he's sitting on TV, calling to radio programs and talking. But his client will be going for interrogation today. He was discharged yesterday. He'll be going for interrogation today. That is when he will know. If he chooses not to be on radio and follow him, he will definitely know where the fresh evidence. He has no basis to know whether there's fresh evidence or not, because he has not accompanied his client to the office.
But he said his junior.
He says that he was denied access.
Exactly.
They were denied access, but you were saying that they didn't come. So what exactly is
that? Is false. That is false. Completely false. His client was not well and was taking the clinic yesterday. When they came back, the interrogators were waiting for him to come, because you cannot interrogate a suspect in the absence of his lawyer. And we know the accused person had lawyers. So it is fair and right and the proper thing to do to wait for the lawyers to come. He was nowhere to be found.
He said his junior doctors, lawyers, I must say, sat at the Iyoko's headquarters, waiting for them to be, interrogated, but you didn't give him that access.
That is hearsay. He is claiming that, and I am telling you that most of the time yesterday was spent waiting for him and his lawyers to come, and he never showed up. I think it was the same time that he was on TV and radio granting interviews. And I think that, you see, there should be some basic principles with which all of us work. Because I've had personal conversation with him on the day we withdrew the charges. And he made specific requests, some of which have been granted.
What are those requests?
This is a professional conversation, and I wouldn't want to disclose.
The lawyers can go and petition the CJ. And the Chief Justice of Ghana, Justice Bafo Bonnie, is a very, very knowledgeable man. He's not there for nothing. He is there to make sure that justice is delivered and delivered properly. My request to the Chief Justice, if I may, is that with all respect, bring back the other photo. That thing that the judges and lawyers put on their head, in fact, is becoming absurd. With all respect, this is a colonial legacy. I don't know, somebody told me it's some dead white people's hair that they have woven together to put on their head. These were worn by the lords and the woo, in the days. Yes, it's a professional thing, but I think once we are independent, if we still want to put something on our head, maybe we can put kente. And I would be happy if judges in Ghana start wearing fugu to court. How many people agree? Fugu and maybe kente. Imagine a judge wearing this kente on the head instead of that thing. And a big one, kente, like that, and chow chow, and he goes to sit in the court. My Lord, I think the word Lord will make more meaning with the kente and the fugu than this one. With all respect, when I look at this, the dressing and the gloves, you know where my mind goes? Undertaker. Career of corpse. Imagine in the night, if a judge or a lawyer wears this and is standing in the dark, and all of a sudden you turn and see this person in the dark. When you run home, what are you going to say? That you saw a what? But if the person was wearing kente, they say, oh, nana, na esumuye, ade. But with this, be honest, you will run, won't you? We are looking for the best for our country with all respect. With all love and respect. I would love to see our judges and lawyers wear fugu, wear kente to courts. Like in the days of Kwame Nkrumah, when a lot of our MPs represented Ghana in kente. Our footballers, the Black Stars, I was told, I saw some pictures, kente. Oh, Lord. It's beautiful. If we are truly independent, let's give them their legacies and hold on to ours. This is an intellectual debate. What do you think? For Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers, nothing would stop this trial from going on. And nothing would save anybody who is guilty. My prayer is that may justice be delivered and may Ghana be honored. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.